Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Persia. And we decided to play Persia because of all the crazy stuff that's going on down in Iran. I don't really have a whole lot of political power, but I thought, you know what, let's show some solidarity with some people that are going through a rough time right now. So much love to the people of Iran. Best of luck in the crazy stuff that's happening. So Tarsus has finished a builder, which we would like to send this builder down to start building up this national park. Hagmatana, I'm going to buy the naturalist to actually set that national park up. And the game does think that there's a national park over here. Well, you know, what actually, what if we did move that national park there? I mean, that has some value. It's not terrible. I don't think it's necessary. They're more likely to put one there and here. So let me come into Halicarnassus and I'll swap that tile just to nip that one in the bud. Tarsus has finished a builder. The bank is not a particularly good building. We could get a spy. I think another couple of builders is probably the way. Oh, right. We ran out of open borders with everyone. So let's go start negotiating open borders with all of the players. And the reason that we negotiate open borders is that it gives you a 25% tourism boost with each individual player that you have open borders with. Now, technically, you only have to buy open borders and you can spend 1 gold on it. I always just sell. It just like feels right to me to sell the open borders. Technically, you don't have to. Like, you can just buy open borders from another player. But to me, open borders feels like a mutual treaty that we can, like, you know, if I have open borders, you have open borders. You know, it's like a little bit more fair. So we are stealing in Tromso 260 gold every 6 turns. It's not a huge amount of gold, but it really does actually help out. We do have 2 art museums that have space for great work. So I would like to ideally purchase some great works. Also buy these amenities just to make sure we're really happy. So yeah, let's buy these sculptures. I think that's all of our GPT that we had. Yeah, so we spent all of our gold per turn. Let's quickly check and make sure you're not getting full tourism. We're getting full tourism in here from all of these. We're just double checking in case there's any duplicates from the same artist that we need to switch up. Now, technically we, oh god, I forgot what I was going to say. Nope, my brain turned off and that thought disappeared. La Palmas has flipped independent, which means I don't really want to send a trade route through there until we have control of that. I think I will, if Palmas flips to us, I will take suzerainty, or not suzerainty. I will take control of it. I also would love to get a scout up over here. Okay, there we go. Okay, you're fortified on that tile. You're healing. Hopefully he'll be able to take 2 hits and then we'll be able to switch you guys. Keep staying fortified. So we'll get this naturalist over here. You are allowed to plant woods inside a national park. So I'm happy to just plant that national park straight away. Getting 15 tourism out of that. We will be able to increase that by another few points once we plant all the forests nearby. Okay, perfect. You did survive that attack. There's urbanization, so we can start building our neighborhoods. We do like public transport, in particular when we're doing a high appeal game like this. So there is some synergy there. I'm going to take the barding promotion on my cavalry so that it gives them extra 7 combat strength against ranged attacks. It doesn't really help them in this particular attack, but the other promotion only gives you bonuses against fortified enemies. And then we'll bring this knight down to help out with you. Now let's have a look here. We would like a neighborhood on a high appeal tile. So I tell you what, we're going to crack out a quick builder here so we can kind of create a high appeal tile. Now, neighborhoods are great because it's a lot of housing. The extra food is nice. You can get 4 food, 2 production, and 1 gold from each neighborhood, which is really quite powerful, in addition to the shopping mall benefits. Now, Hagmatana, you have done what? You got yourself a builder. Well, we want to improve this tile to put a forest on it to spread the appeal. We'll plant a woods right there. We're going to plant woods in here as well. We do want that to be a lumber mill, so make sure that I put a pin on that so I don't forget it. Hagmatana finished another builder. Let's keep getting builders. We have a lot of tiles that we need to improve. Halicarnassus has finished its Renaissance walls. Probably a good time for us to buy the holy site location and start building that. Also in Tushpa, well, we're waiting for the builders so we can do a few more chops, but yeah. Unfortunately, the barb's kind of interrupted. I hate that my empire is on the edge of the border. It feels like my empire is split in half. I'll vote for Hungry Hungry Lions, and we will vote twice for ourselves because that way we get the culture bomb. Perfect. Right, keep exploring. And you're heading down this way to join up with this settler. Oh boy. I'm going to attack here, step you one tile to the left, and then eat his soul so that you guys combine together, and you may be able to escape from your fate. Okay, we're going to plant some woods here to get the appeal up. You're planting woods right here. Come back down this way to keep planting woods. Just trying to get that nice high appeal. Okay. I don't think this tile is particularly important, but why not plant woods on it? We will keep making builders. We have so many tiles that we can and should improve. Like there's a Pyrodisa here. There's a Pyrodisa here. That's at least 2 more, which is wonderful. Renaissance walls have been completed in Backtree. Backtree gets missing its commercial hub. We would like the extra trade route, so let's do it. You head up here to get that lumber mill online. There's no reason not to put lumber mills on these tiles. Let's try and zip you back to a nice safe tile. And you're doing an explore. I'm just going to automate you. I'm tired of manually exploring. We got a builder in Pass Argade. I am going to grab a skirmisher to do an auto explore. Okay, so if I replace this, this could be adjacency. You're plus. What's the adjacency on this commercial hub? If I were to put a, it wouldn't have high enough appeal. I could put a. What I was going to say is I could put a neighborhood there to give this +1 adjacency, but I don't think that matters. But yeah, I want to get a skirmisher or 2 for exploration. Shahir Yakumas is trading. I think Tushpa already has a trader. We're waiting for La Palmas to flip, so I'm just going to send this trader to the capital so we can kind of think about that. Where do I want to put this? Where do I want to put this district? This neighborhood. I could delete this. In theory, I could. Let's see. Okay, we could put a ski resort there. I could replace these 3 tiles with woods, and that would get us a national park here. So I'm going to send my guy to go do that. Yeah, lumber mill looks good. Lumber mill looks good. Drop the woods. Go ahead and improve this. This may be a chop. It may be a lumber mill. We'll see. Maybe both. See, I'm hoping you survive these 2 attacks. Perfect. This lets you kill the crossbowman. Make sure these guys are linked. I'm going to build her in Tushpa so we can start doing some chopping. These elephants do have woods on them, so there's at least 4 chops in here. Let's get 1 more builder in here. Escape on foot. You stole 594 gold. The reason we choose foot is because it's the one that they're most likely to survive, which gives them the best chance to actually escape, which is the objective. Lumber mill here. This is definitely a chop that gets us a builder. Start sending those builders to the east. In theory, there's still a Petra. I mean, that is worth tourism, but I don't think that's what we necessarily want to do. We would love a high appeal tile in here. We actually could steal this mine right here and put a neighborhood on that. That would set us up for a shopping mall. Not entirely terrible amounts of tourism. We still have room for 3 great works. +1 era score. You were attacked by a field cannon. That's honestly fine. We're going to pull you back to a nice safe distance. We may need more knights. It's okay. We got the zoo in Susa, so we're getting the AoE amenities. We have full happiness in all of our locations. We definitely would like a neighborhood. This would be a breathtaking tile if we put a neighborhood on it. So I think that is the plan. Get that neighborhood going. We got a builder in here. I think we just keep building builders. Replant the forest you chopped. Yes, it is worth it to chop and replace forests. We're going to break up this paradise so that we can get a national park on this tile. Speaking of which, we'll buy the naturalist now to get into position. We do need to do some tile swapping because Tarsus actually can't work this tile. Put a forest there. Forest it up. Got a skirmisher. Let's just put you on auto explore and grab us another builder. La Palmas will flip to us next turn, which is ideal. It was the plan. I would like more builders in Halicarnassus. It's just like getting builders down here is going to take a little bit of time. It just takes time. Let's chop here to get this builder out so we can retool this landscape a little bit faster. Then we're going to get the amphitheater and the archaeological museum up. This builder needs to get over here to plant a woods. What I would like to do is come to Backtree to buy a naturalist in Halicarnassus. I'm going to buy this tile, which should set us up for another national pork. We'll keep the city of La Palmas, and so now we can do trade. I'll send 1 trader to La Palmas and then another trader to Barcelona. We'll trade with that to set up the trade route with Spain. You get your monument. I'll appoint Victor and put him in La Palma so that he can give this city loyalty. We're no longer getting amenities from garrisons, which is fine. Logistics is great for moving builders around. We're still building some walls in a couple of cities, so keeping limes plugged in is fine. Some people say it's limes. It would be nice to have liberalism, and I think that liberalism for the amenities is better than the gold from envoys. Let's make sure we purchase luxuries. Keep all of our 9 cities at maximum happiness. We need to purchase great works of art. There's 1, 2, 3 great works of art purchased. Double check that none of them are suffering the negatives. Okay, as far as I can tell, none of them are generating 1 culture, 1 thingy. I can theme a museum by putting 3 different portraits in Pasargadae. Beautiful. Getting 100% culture and tourism from that, which is wonderbar. It's worth 18 culture and 16 tourism. Improve this. We no longer need our garrisons, so this actually frees us up to move units around to defend our empire if/when we feel the need. Okay, so we could get John Jacob Astor, who is on the cards. Let's see, so he would be the last industrial era. What era are we actually in? Yeah, so this would trigger the modern era, so I think we will just take him. 2 envoys isn't terrible. We'll go ahead and park him right there. Great person activated. We have 11 envoys. I forgot to plug in the double envoy card, but I think I have 11 envoys, so I think I'm just going to skip it. And we're going to bring both of these up to higher levels. Now that we're getting +4 gold for every bank, Zanzibar does start to make banks a little bit more valuable. That starts to become a big potential here. We'll chop out this amphitheater and then we'll get our archaeological museum. We're going to pull you back a tile to defend this builder. We're going to make sure that this tile is owned by Halicarnassus when we chop, because the city needs production to get its infrastructure out. Plus it'll trigger a culture bomb, which is really nice. We'll get the shrine and the temple so that we can grow this city like crazy. We'll get the builder in a position to plant the woods, and next turn we'll put the naturalist in here to build this national park. You head up over here, keeping it nice and progressive. The bank worth 9 gold starts to be worth it, so we will grab that. Plus we can chop to shave a few turns off it. I'll send another knight down here. Why don't you eat that knight's soul so that you become stronger? My spy could go to Pokrovka. Let's go steal from Pokrovka. My spy made it home. All right, perfect. Another builder. Let me move you out of the way so you can zip up here, plant a woods, and you'll plant a woods right here. The extra movement on units, logistics, is so good for getting people to move around your empire. I do think that the bank is worth it. When it's once you have a city-state that's buffing it, it starts to become value. We definitely want the archaeologist in Shahir Kumis. We just finished the archaeological museum. We do have some archaeological dig sites that we want to kind of get up and running. I will put a Pyrodisa right there. Pyrodise nuts. If I attack here, this guy can step forward and shoot us, which would be bad, so we'll just wait a turn. In Tushpa, we'll buy that. What can we sell? We can sell a lot of stuff. We got a hell of a lot of Diplo favor from our Renaissance walls. Got 1,000 gold right there. Right. Put that there, build that mine. You step here, build this national park, +3 era score. I love that building national parks gives you lots of era score. It's very fun. It's very satisfying interaction. This city is now in position. We'll be feeding a lot of production and money into there. There's Uluru. Very cool. At long last, we found it with our auto scouter. It could be worth it to settle this. There's probably an optimal city somewhere nearby. Yeah, we're getting blasted. It's okay. +1 era score for the first time we reached 15 population. That was probably in Susa. Oh, it was not in Susa. It was in Shahira Kumis. Surprised by that. So we got our neighborhood in Hagmatana, so we are set up for shopping malls. I think the +9 gold bank starts to become worth it. That's like +2 production empire wide, as in like it's +2 production that you can apply anywhere in your empire, not +2 production everywhere. We'll chop the archaeological museum out, and then we'll get the archaeologist, because that directly translates into tourism. We'll get this kill. I'll zip you back to a safe distance. You heal for a turn. It'd be nice to have cuirassiers. We are about to get industrialization, which is going to be a big step. We could actually put a Pyrodisa here, and it's not a bad one. It's a +2. It's not terrible. +2. Any Northern Line fans? -1. Okay, let's park this settler on this tile. We're going to immediately start the St. Basil's. We would love to get the Cristo Redentor. It's a good one. But the St. Basil's is the big one. We're going to grab Magnus, reassign him to Persia, And the goal is to chop this out. We're going to be pumping a lot of money into builders in here. Reina will eventually take over Persia, but we want to do all the chopping. Oops, I did not mean to build a lumber mill there. That was not the plan. Unfortunate. Ooh, I forgot to chop the rainforest from this. And that is necessary for getting the appeal nice and high. Chop this rainforest to bring the appeal up. We want to have a high appeal empire. I mean, we have the +1 faith from tiles with breathtaking appeal, right? So like that's just beautiful, you know, that's what we want. Let's plant woods here so that we can use it as a combat defense. And then you're going to start building me some Pyrades nut. You know, now that I actually just had a realization that maybe there's a configuration. Is there a configuration of Holy Site and Theater Square? You know what? If you're, so like, I kind of want to take a moment to talk about this. So let's say you imagine, right? Hypothetically, you're trying to get like, let's imagine a perfect city, okay? For Pyradisa optimization. It would look something in the direction of this. There's probably a few more. Okay, hold on. So this is like, you know, you can rotate this and I don't think you can really fit more in here. I think this might actually be the best you can do. I'm like trying to map better alternatives. So what is this? 3, 6, 9, 11, 14. What if you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, what if we shifted this down a tile? Could we get more in? So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can either get 12 if the city was positioned here, or you can get 13 if the city is positioned here. 12 or 13. You can either do this or this. Now, that's two tourism per Pyradisa. So that's 26 tourism from a single city from Pyradisas, right? This is like perfect optimal play, right? Let's say hypothetically. If we add a theater square, that's another 3 tourism. If we add a holy site, that's another 3 tourism. Now, hypothetically, if we wanted to try to get the most tourism or the most culture from the fewest amount of these things, what if we did, I don't know, something like akin to this, right? We put the holy site here, and we put the theater square here, and then we put a Pyradisa on each side. This is like the minimal investment into getting the most out of these Pyradisas, right? Like you get 4 culture, that's 8 culture, that's huge. 8 culture from 2 tiles, that's a really nice investment, I think. That has fantastic potential, in my opinion. I don't know, there's something to consider there, something to rumble around inside your noggin. Okay, we're going to want another builder. So we're going to have 3 builders chopping out St. Basil's Cathedral. Pretty quick, smart. We're going to chop the rainforest here. We'll move you in here to re-improve the diamonds. Let's get chopping. Didn't mean to put that there. Not quite having the appeal we need. We'll need to work on that a little bit more. An enemy spy has escaped capture. Gentle eruptions. You know what? I have a hot take. I think volcanoes should give you tourism. People should be interested in going to them. Like when you unlock... either like, I don't know, there should be like a civic or something, like environmentalism or like conservation or natural something or other, like natural history. That should unlock, in my opinion, tourism from volcanoes. It should be just like +1 tourism. It shouldn't be much, but I think it will be cool. Maybe +1 tourism per eruption this game. All right, let's take a moment to heal on these guys. I'm just going to play it safe for a minute. Keep chopping these out so we can get more builders. 1 more in Tarsus. Tarsus is the best place to build builders because it does have Liang, and Liang does give your builders +1 adjacency. Important to remember that damaged tiles actually lower appeal, so it is important to repair your volcano tiles in a high adjacency, high appeal game. Something to consider that you may not have thought about. I would love this coal, but I don't know if this coal would love me. All right, 3 more turns until Magnus is established. There's capitalism, so we have access to the shopping mall, which is part of our main objective. The other things we don't care too much about. In terms of our tourism, I do think democracy is the best tourism thing, especially if you go alliances. Like if we... Who's the second biggest tourism generator? How do I check that? Culture. Let me see. Culture victory, 92, 206. So probably if we could get a cultural alliance with Alexander, but he doesn't like us, who else could we do it with? Spain. He doesn't like us too much either. He's -16, mostly because of how close our cities are. What about... I don't want to do Lady Six guy. Maybe I'll make friends with Tamiris. How would you feel about a friendship and a cultural alliance? And the idea behind this is if we can get our alliance to level up, we might be able to get more tourism out of them. And this also sets us up for potential democracy. We probably want to befriend Norway if we could. And like, we want to befriend our neighbors, but pretty much all of our neighbors are hostile to us, or at the very least dislike us a little. Susa has finished its neighborhood. I think we go for the shopping mall. Yes, it is 12 turns, but it does give +4 tourism, so it is worth it. I don't think it needs to be powered to give the tourism, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. Commercial hub completed in a factory. Let's get the market for the extra trader. Traders are one of the most powerful things in the entire game, so we love building those. And we're keeping on pumping up the appeal in this area. I would love to chop swap this jungle tile because it's hurting the appeal. And now we can place the national park. Lovely. +3 era score, plus the tourism from this. A 14 tourism national park. Go ahead and get your medieval walls, La Palmas. I still don't have the trading slot for them. We're working on it. Magnus establishes in 2 turns. 3 builders should be plenty. Ooh, a tribal village very late into the game. That's one of the exciting things about the Highland map type, is that you'll often find tribal villages like just scattered around late into the game, which is kind of fun. Barb camps too, which is somehow less fun. Pull you back to a safe distance. We got the bank in Pass Argade. I do think we would like the neighborhood. I think this is the place to build it. But before we build it, we are going to want ourselves a builder. We got the temple in Halicarnassus. We can faith purchase the stupa. I don't really want to spend money, but I will build a commercial hub for money. I don't want to spend money because I want to save it for Parsa, for doing all the Magnus stuff down there. Let's get a cash injection into our economy. I'll also sell off a bunch of my Diplo favor for this. I'll sell off my niter. I'll sell off my coal. I'll sell off my iron to the top bidder. Whoever wants it, I'll just sell. Double check any luxuries are available. Nope. 10 of our cities are happy. So we're in ideal circumstances. Technically, if we settled more cities, we could probably improve our tourism rate. I don't think it's necessary. We do want to plant more forests next to these national parks so that we can make sure that they generate as much as possible. I'll chop here to immediately finish the market in here. That's going to allow me to actually set up this trade route in La Palmas to Passar Gade. 5 food, 4 production, 2 gold, 1 culture. Beautiful. And we may as well build the bank. It's worth 9 gold per turn, which is not completely trash. It is, in fact, it is V-word. It is viable. Such a strange border situation. Me, when I live in that enclave in Belgium, between Belgium and the Netherlands, such a strange border situation. Must spy in Pokrovka. I am not allowed to steal from my ally. Of course I'm not. Let's go to Waknabal. I'll steal from those guys. Mega Colossal Eruption. We're up to 30 tourists out of the 255 that we need. Remember, those are not static targets. Those are moving targets that are constantly shifting that we need to be aware of. We got another builder in Tarsus. It would be nice to get the neighborhood, ideally in a high appeal location. There is a pair of ski resorts here. That's a really nice high appeal tile right there. So we will get that neighborhood. Medieval walls. Okay. Let's add the Paradisa. Paradise nuts. I don't know. Just that joke is, I know I've said it a million times, but I still think that joke slaps. Cadiz is flipping independent. In theory, we can make use of this for national parks. Well, there's definitely a national park right there. And then if that's a national park, that's a La Palmas national park if we can make it. So then lumber mills here are fine. Okay, we want to kill this field cannon if we can. Get it? All right, let's get over here to the Paradisa. Boom. On these woods, we will begin the chopping. Bam. Bam. 70% finished in a single turn. We could have finished that faster if we'd plugged in like the wonder card, but who cares, man? So I think the only thing that can stop us now is if the AI wins a science victory, which as far as I can tell, there's Scorched Earth. Would be nice to have expropriation plugged in, but I don't think we can afford to. As far as I can tell, only Harold has researched rocketry. Not even Lady Six Guy has. So I still think we have the sort of momentum to where I don't think we can be stopped just yet. We're up to 200 tourism per turn, which is fantastic. I have 9 envoys to spend. God, that's so many envoys. That's a ridiculous amount of envoys. Let's put... Where am I getting all these envoys from, dude? I don't even know what to tell you. Be nice to suzerain Bologna, Hong Kong. We'll hold on to the rest of our points right now because it wouldn't really change. Well, I guess Ayutthaya would be good. All right, can we kill this field cannon We can. Boom. Dealt with. Move you here. Move you here. Move you here. We want to buy. Like we're the Backstreet Boys. Boom. And boom. 3 turns on St. Basil's. We're going to chop that anyway. We are researching flight currently, which is going to be when our tourism truly explodes. And then we basically want to rush the Eiffel Tower if we can. Another option is to go to computers if we want to avoid flooding. What's the current... I mean, CO2 levels aren't too bad, so I don't think we need to rush there yet. Famous last words. Whole bunch of great scientists just went all in a single turn. That tends to happen a lot, is the great scientists get kind of clogged up and then like all spew out at the same time as you bridge across eras. So we definitely want to farm this up because this is lowering appeal if I remember correctly. Boom, let's retool our landscape. We definitely want a neighborhood in here. We want to improve its appeal as well. It's worth a little bit of tourism. I'll chop right there. I'll chop right there. We'll come in. We'll plant some woods. Make the nice appeal. We love high appeal tiles. We come down and get this last chop in there for me. All right, let's chop to finish St. Basil's. Now that's step 1 of the ultra setup down here. This is the yield. This is the yield. I guess yield porn location. You know what I'm saying, man? We're gonna get watermill, granary, monument up. We do want to get our ancient walls and stuff. We'll hold off for a turn. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm likes it if you say yield porn, man. Those are the dangerous words. Those are the demonetization words. All right, so we've got a bank in Hagmatana. Let's grab the shopping mall. That's going to be +4 tourism, which is magic. We're going to go for the Paradisa here. We're going to chop, or rather improve that. Excellent. We're 6 turns away from flight. So tourism explosion is mere moments away. Let's chop this mine. We want to get nice high appeal in here. The appeal is currently 1. We can add at least 2 more. Not bad. Let's get there to chop, 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 chop. Why don't you chop this tile? The overflow will go into the monument. We don't need any more chopping for a little bit. We got our neighborhood in Tarsus. Let's get our shopping mall for another +4 tourism. Monument completed in here. Let's grab these ancient walls. I will chop to instantly finish them. Overflow into the medieval walls, then we'll chop next turn. It's better to do 1 chop per turn rather than many chops in a turn. We're going to chop here. Maybe I did actually plant that one and that was a mistake. Whoops. Oh well, there's no point improving some of these tiles. These 2 tiles over here could be improved. May as well chop to clean them out. Oh, that could have been a Paradisa. Paradise nut. Oh, we might get egg eye here too. Getting these, this is another thing I like is when you get cities for free. Cities frozy. Uh-oh. Flee! All right, took a little damage here. Take your barding. Oh, we got James Joyce. Hey, Ulysses. All right, we will chop the Renaissance walls out. Then we're going to start getting to work on the preserve. Let's move you into position. We'll buy this tile. It's fine to chop again here. Yeah, we're getting set up. I should probably get myself another builder. We're going to need a lot of builders in here to get this city set up properly for the ultra late game plan that we have. Yes, we're saving faith for rock bands and naturalists. Seamus Joyce, Meowed Flower. Thank you, my laddie. We could probably buy 2 more. Probably buy another great work of writing. Great work of writing. Purchase that. What else do we have room for? We have 3 room for relics, and they would actually be high value relics because they would be in St. Basil's. So does anyone have relics that they're willing to sell? 1 relic, 2 relic. Beautiful. We'll make sure that we put those relics in St. Basil's. You see here, this one generates 8 tourism, whereas the one in St. Basil's generates 16. So we're going to get 32 out of that. That's a nice one. I think it is worth spending the resources to acquire those. Looking fantastic. Fandabidocious. There's mobilization, so we can now create armies and armadas. We have the Levy en Masse card. We're about to get ideology. We're going to promote Reina with forestry management in preparation for being in control of the St. Basil's Cathedral city. You move there. We're going to harvest to finish that preserve. Now we want to get the Grove up, which is going to require its own chop. And then we want to go for the Sanctuary, which is going to require a couple chops. We'll just get harvesting in here. Harvesting lets you accelerate a city to a degree that is not normally possible. And it's also very, very satisfying. All right, we'll move Faust out of Pasargadae, and then we'll create this great work. We will stick it in Tushpa. Now put a Paradisa right there. Lovely. Harvest that sheep for me. Harvest the bananas. We're just clearing out the land. Now, Touchpad, do you still... I don't think you still need to trade with the capital. I'm going to put this into Persia instead. Persia is a brand new city that could make use of these internals. Plus, roads are nice. Roads are always nice. Let's grab this tile. We'll chop. And then we'll grab this tile. We'll step you in to prepare to chop. Get you to here, chop. Perfect. We'll get the sanctuary next turn. It's crazy acceleration. We're going to trade with Pasargadae from this city. 5 food, 4 production, 2 gold, 1 culture. It's going to help accelerate this city even further. We are going to need a lot more builders in here to start transforming this land. But we have these beautiful yields. Look at that. Now, isn't that magic? Can you see the vision? Can you see the vision? I sure hope you can. Okay, neighborhood completed in Pasargadae. Let's get ourselves a shopping mall that's for tourism. It's not a huge amount. Shopping malls are really inefficient tourism sources. They're fine. I can't remember, did I build a neighborhood in here? I haven't built a neighborhood in Backtree. I do think it's worth it for me to buy this tile and then to get a naturalist. Like, that's worth improving. There's also Halicarnassus over here. Like, we just need... It's just... We don't have the resources to do everything that we want to. But we will continue to produce builders. We just need to do so much work on our land. La Palmas got its Renaissance walls. Let's start getting builders in here as well. We got the sanctuary in Persia. Pretty much just want builders out of you. I'm going to put down swords for myself to remember to chop some of these tiles for the Eiffel Tower. But for now, it's about replanting. And let's start with this national park over here. We'll put a Paradisa right there. Beautiful. Let's move you down to the south. Stole the builder from the Barbs. We're about to get flights. We're going to go from 281 tourism, a nice mega colossal eruption, love to see it, to 263. That's a lot of the tourism from our Paradisa started to kick in, right? 3 tourism here, 2 tourism here. So it's a trickle, but when you combine all of the trickles together, you get a mighty river. Okay, so there's flight. Now, once you have flight in a tourism game, there's pretty much no tech that you care about. You could make an argument for the broadcast center because of the great musician points. That's not terrible. The extra culture is pretty good, and it gives you a reason to max out your relationships with some of these city-states. That can be worth it. It's a very expensive building, and oftentimes by the time that you built it, you don't need it. Now, the seaside resort can be useful if we wanted to try to get a golden age, which we've pretty much got in the bag with 6 turns left. We just need 1 more national park, which we're about to get in Persia. As far as I can tell, like, all we need to do is to come into Persia, buy this tile, buy a naturalist, boom. We need to put an improvement on this tile so that we can shift the national park down a tile, because right now it's trying to put it here, which we don't want. This quarry production, do we care about this? The stock exchange is an expensive and not very good building. The sewer is good because multiple sewers will boost democracy, but we're not going to research it and build them in time. Far more useful to us is like renewable electricity sources like geothermals, or unlocking more strategics like solar farms, wind farms, and nuclear power. We could go for computers. That is a 25% tourism boost across our empire. Sorry, I forgot. Once you have flight and computers, then you don't care about your tech tree. So we will go radio, electricity into computers. I forgot about this 25% tourism boost. It's been a long time since I played, so we're getting back into it. And then we also want environmentalism, if I remember correctly, because that also has a 25% tourism boost. So we want to start making our way over there. But we will go for democracy because democracy just has a lot of cards in it. And Angelica Kaufman, Anna Maria Jenkins, that's perfect. So she's an artist. She's an artiste. We got our shopping mall in Susa, which is nice. We would like to get our factory, and then ideally, we don't love the coal power plant, but we will fuel it by coal if we have to. And we're going to build a national park right there. Beautiful, seeing all this beautiful tourism coming through the wonderful country, Persia. So now this trade route was with Skeen, and now we want to trade with Nagazagargamu so that we can bounce that trade even further. Now, unfortunately, this takes 44 turns. I think this takes way too long. I wish it was a lot shorter in the late game. I don't mind the trade routes being really long in the early game, but when you get into the late game, them taking so long just gets really annoying, in my opinion. And it's one of the areas of the game that I would love, I would love, 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 love. I would love the developers forever if they came back and just did a couple of updates to the game. And the trade route length is one of them. So we've got a moderate flood, a few tiles have been damaged, that's okay. Industrial era ends in 5 turns. We have our shopping mall in Tarsus. That's fantastic. Trying to remember what we need to build. A spy wouldn't be bad. I do think builders are extremely useful because it's basically a way for you to move production around your empire. So that can be helpful. Now what I want to do here is I want to build just any old building here to try to shift this national park down a tile. It'll be a +3 era score. And then, yeah, perfect. The next one I want to build is right here. Angelica Kaufman, thank you for your work. Let's pull back this horseman because he's not going to solo that. Spain has bafflingly declared war on me. Now, La Palmas is in trouble, but we will be able to make a difference there. So on the verge, on the eve of a war with a neighbor who is coming at me with line infantry. Now, keep in mind, line infantry, these are 80 combat strength line infantry against a 40 strength city. So how long do you think I'm going to be able to hold? Well, you'll have to find out in the next episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.